Do you ever feel like you're on the outside looking in? You see groups of friends laughing, sharing inside jokes, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I have that? Society has a simple, often harsh, explanation. You're weird, you're shy, you're unlikable. But what if I told you that's not the real story? What if the reason you struggle to make and keep friends isn't a flaw, but a set of rare, powerful personality traits that most people simply don't understand? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of those who walk a more solitary path. This isn't about being antisocial. This is about being wired differently, for a level of depth and truth in a world that often prefers to stay on the surface. We'll explore 5 specific traits that, while they may isolate you, are actually signs of a highly developed mind and a strong sense of self. So if you've ever felt like you just don't fit in, stick around. You might just discover that you're not broken, you're rare. First, let's talk about a trait that seems counterintuitive, an exceptionally high standard for authenticity. People with this trait don't just want friends, they want genuine, soul-level connections. Small talk about the weather or office gossip feels like a waste of precious time and energy. You crave conversations about ideas, dreams, vulnerabilities, and the things that truly matter. The problem is, most people aren't comfortable with that level of depth. They use small talk as a social lubricant, a way to keep things light and easy. When you try to bypass this and go straight to the deep stuff, it can make others feel uncomfortable or even interrogated. They might see you as too intense or too serious. You're not trying to be difficult, you're just allergic to fakeness. You can spot insincerity from a mile away, and you'd rather be alone than spend your time with people who are wearing masks. This isn't arrogance, it's a form of self-preservation. You value your energy and your mental space too much to fill it with superficial interactions. While this standard protects you from shallow relationships, it also dramatically shrinks the pool of potential friends. You're looking for a needle in a haystack, someone who is as real and as ready for depth as you are. The second rare trait is a powerful form of self-sufficiency. From a young age, you learned how to rely on yourself. Maybe you had to. Maybe you just found that you were your own best source of entertainment, comfort, and problem solving. You developed hobbies and interests that you could pursue alone, and you found deep satisfaction in them. You know how to manage your own emotions, regulate your own moods, and solve your own problems without needing to call someone for validation or advice. On the surface, this sounds like an incredible strength, and it is. But in the context of friendship, it can be a barrier. Friendships are often built on mutual need. People bond by helping each other, by being a shoulder to cry on, by celebrating successes together. When you appear to not need anyone, people don't know what role to play in your life. They might think you're aloof or that you have it all figured out, so they don't offer help or support because they assume you don't want it. You're not intentionally pushing people away. You're just so used to handling things on your own that you forget to show your vulnerability. You forget that letting someone help you is a gift you give to them, a way of letting them feel needed and valued. Your independence is a fortress that keeps you safe, but it can also keep others out. Third, we have a highly analytical and observational nature. You're not just participating in social situations, you're studying them. You notice the subtle shifts in tone, the micro-expressions, the inconsistencies between what people say and what they do. You're constantly gathering data, trying to understand the underlying dynamics of the group. This makes you incredibly perceptive. You can often predict how a situation will unfold or see the hidden motives behind someone's actions. But this constant analysis comes at a cost. It keeps you in your head, preventing you from being fully present and spontaneous in the moment. While everyone else is laughing at a joke, you're dissecting why it was funny and who it was aimed at. This can make you seem detached or disengaged. Furthermore, your perceptiveness means you see the flaws in social structures, the hierarchies, the performative kindness, the unspoken rules. You see the game being played, and frankly, you're not interested in playing it. You see through the social rituals that others take for granted, and it makes it hard for you to participate with genuine enthusiasm. People might mistake your quiet observation for judgment or disinterest, when in reality, you're just processing the world on a much deeper, more analytical level than everyone else. The fourth trait is a low tolerance for emotional drama. You value peace, logic, and stability. When conflicts arise, your instinct is to resolve them quickly and rationally. You don't enjoy gossip, passive aggression, or prolonged emotional spectacles. In a world where many social bonds are forged in the fires of shared complaints and dramatic retellings of minor slights, your desire for tranquility can leave you on the sidelines. Your friends might want you to take their side in a petty dispute or get riled up with them about an injustice, but you're more likely to play devil's advocate or suggest a calm, logical solution. This can be misinterpreted as a lack of loyalty or empathy. They see you as cold or unfeeling because you're not mirroring their high-running emotions. But it's not that you don't care, it's that you see the drama as a destructive and pointless expenditure of energy. You understand that most of these social tempests are fleeting and ultimately meaningless. You'd rather invest your emotional energy in constructive activities or genuine, positive connections. Your calm demeanor in the face of chaos is a sign of emotional maturity. But to those who thrive on drama, it can make you seem like an outsider who just doesn't get it. You're a firefighter in a world of arsonists, and it can be a lonely job. Finally, the fifth trait is a deep, intrinsic need for solitude to recharge. This is different from simple introversion. For you, being alone isn't just a preference, it's a biological necessity, like sleeping or eating. Social interactions, even good ones, drain your battery. After a party or a long conversation, you feel depleted and need to retreat into your own space to process, reflect, and get back to your baseline. In our hyper-connected world, this need is often misunderstood. People may interpret your need for space as rejection. You cancel plans or leave a gathering early, and they take it personally. They think you're bored of them or that you don't like. It's difficult to explain that your withdrawal has nothing to do with them and everything to do with your own internal wiring. Some alone time. But what they hear is, "I don't want to be with you." This creates a difficult cycle. You socialize to try and build connections. You get drained. You withdraw to recharge. People feel rejected, and the connection weakens. You're caught between your need for human connection and your even more pressing need for solitude. Finding a balance can feel impossible, and often, the path of least resistance is simply to remain alone. So, if you recognize yourself in these 5 traits, a high standard for authenticity, strong self-sufficiency, an analytical mind, a low tolerance for drama, and a profound need for solitude, know this: you are not broken. You are not unlikable. You are operating on a different frequency. You are built for depth, truth, and independence in a world that often prioritizes superficiality, codependence, and groupthink. While these traits can make finding your tribe incredibly challenging, they are also your greatest strengths. They make you a loyal and honest friend. When you finally find someone worthy of your trust, they make you an insightful and wise individual. Don't try to change who you are to fit in. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your unique, authentic self. The key is not to become more like everyone else, but to understand your own nature and learn to navigate the world with it. Perhaps it means seeking out smaller groups, one-on-one interactions, or finding friends who share your appreciation for depth and quiet understanding. Your path might be lonelier, but it is also a path of integrity. Embrace your rarity. The right people won't be scared off by your depth. They will be drawn to it. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you see these traits in yourself? Let's build a community of people who understand. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that helps you understand yourself and the world around you. See you in the next one.